Hi, good evening. This is GS Kumar from the city of Bangalore. This is my first ever Instagram live. So far, we've done in LinkedIn Live, YouTube Live. So this is I'm just testing like how this Instagram thing works because more often there are requests that we should conduct this kind of job hunt clarification session from most of the job seekers. So we thought like we'll go for a Instagram live rather than um, LinkedIn or YouTube live. So whoever is there live can post your comments or questions related to job hunt, interview, resume, offer issues, salary issues, typically career oriented questions wherein you feel stuck or you need some clarification or you need some um, suggestions for the job hunt. uh, Hi Neve Vicaria, yes, where are you from? Like you can put your location in the chat box and post your questions. What are you doing and which location you are from, all that. So we'll discuss for some time, and then one questions you can post so that I'll try to answer to the maximum. Since I come from a HR background, like 15 years I worked as a recruiter, leadership hiring, all that. So I pretty much understand like how things are there at the other side, where a lot of people have confusions on what is happening on the other side. Mohammed Nihal, Kerala. Yeah, okay. Welcome. Joined. Okay. So you can ask some questions so that we'll go ahead further. So if in case my audio video is visible clear, you can put yes in the comment box. Since this is my first time, I'm not very sure whether it is loud and clear, so that you can help me with that as well. My audio is clear, Mohammed? Okay. So first we will talk about the realities of the market. Like many of them feel like job market is dull, or why I'm not getting interview calls. There are multiple questions. So typically an average job post, when we post a job posting in any which way, Naukri or LinkedIn or Monster, any which way, 300 plus applications is we'll get in a single day or in a 48 hours. So that much number of people apply for a job posting. Okay, but only 3 to 5% get a call, because out of 300 we will be segregating those kind of profiles who are very very relevant to us, localites who can attend interview. Those people we'll call first so that our job becomes more easier. Second thing is, recruiters spend only 7 seconds scanning the entire resume. If your top 20% is very strong, let's say first page is very very strong, then we'll decide to go ahead forward and read it. Otherwise we don't even read a 3-page resume where there are a lot of details which you spend a lot of time, all that. So third point is, more job seekers play the quantity game, meaning the more and more we apply, more and more interview calls will come, is what the expectations, which may not be true at most of the time. It is more about the positioning what you carry for yourself, because as recruiters, as into leadership hiring, we are more towards how this guy can solve our problem. It is like hiring a business owner to solve an issue. We hire job seekers to solve the issue. So how you are positioning yourself on LinkedIn resume, that matters a lot. And impact what you have created in the past, and relevancy what you have bring it to the table industry, that is the element which we will be looking at it. So as you all know, like this is an AI era, like a lot of elements has come into picture which was not there in the earlier years. Like AI in 2025 has a huge impact with the hiring, screening, interview process, automation. So the screening process itself will take about 90% in without human element. Every screening process is happening. And when you are applying to a job, it is in the process of a software, so nobody is really reviewing. It's in the process of software where a lot of elements is been detected, be it a keyword, be it a relevance of industry, everything is detected by a software and AI rather than human element. So keyword optimization is very much a mandatory for resume. So now I stop here. So since couple of people have joined, maybe you can post questions one by one. I'll try to answer from my past experience, whatever is relevant, whatever I have seen. So far I have trained about 11,000 job seekers from the mid-career to CXO level positions, who has stuck in all these areas like career break, career shift, job hunt, interviews. I've solved those issues. So that's why I'm very confident that I can answer live on what exactly the problem. So maybe if you have questions, you can introduce yourself, what designation, which company, what is your question. If you post one question, then I'll try to answer one by one, if that works. Or you tell me what exactly you want me to talk, that I can talk and give you some information on the reality of the job market. Because after Diwali there is a lot of good news which is happening, so maybe I'll share that, or which are the data, which are the websites you can see, so that you can get more ideas towards job hunt. All that maybe I can share. So if you have any clarity required, you can post your name, designation and question, so that I'll try to answer. Yes, any questions, or otherwise I'll go to the information which I wanted to share. Okay, so till you type, maybe I'll share something so that we we listen to something and then discuss something. So LinkedIn plays a very major role. I could say it's a new recruitment hub as far as LinkedIn is considered. So more than about 87% new candidates on LinkedIn, or comparing to other job portals, LinkedIn has other lot of database available, job seekers available. That is why HR and recruiters keep spending time on LinkedIn. So our profile has to be highly optimized so that we are visible and credible to the recruiters who are hiring us. Okay, Mohammed has posted one question. Actually, I look for UAE vacancy in HR roles. Which is the best way to get UAE job? Okay. Now, UAE job has come with its own terms and condition. Like we being from India, getting a job in UAE have a different way of looking at things, or terms and conditions are completely different. So initially network with the recruiters of UAE in your own industry and your own targeted list of companies. So select all the company pages of the targeted list of companies and post your information, post your skill set and tag them on the company page, so that recruiters who are being tagged on that company page can see your profile as well and start interacting. So the more and more you interact, you'll get to know what is reality in the UAE job, and accordingly you will get the right connection towards getting it there, because it's not a traditional way that we apply for a job and somebody call from UAE, right? So that may not happen, but you'll have to network with them. So networking needs a conversation, either physical or online. So for that, we need to network with the recruiters. So do a people search on recruiters, whoever is hiring, and go and connect with them on LinkedIn and have a personal chat on what exactly you can contribute to their organization. Because HR, as you might know, the crowd is larger than the supply. The supply is more than the demand. So why they have to recruit? There should be a reason. And comparing to UI located HR people, what extra you can contribute, that you have to justify. Otherwise, there is no point, right? So why they have to recruit people other than their country? So something extra we'll have to provide, that I might need to look into your profile to review and take a call on this. Maybe you can share your resume with my mail ID. I'll share in the comment box later. So maybe you can send the resume. So if the resume doesn't contains anything which is very, very unique, then the possibility is less. But as an active job seeker, you can network with the UAE recruiters for the initial idea, so that they understand the possibility, the budget, all that, and then you can get in there. Second question, how to optimize the LinkedIn account? The more and more you are active, LinkedIn understand that you are an active person. So the algorithm favors whoever is very, very consistent, whoever is very, very active. So the more and more you comment on a lot of posts, create content on a regular basis consistently, and have the networking attitude with connecting with people, then LinkedIn will understand and boost your profile. So the only way is to being more and more consistent on the role which we have, and we have to talk about the subject matter expertise which we carry. Like in your case, it is HR. So speak more of advices in your own field. What is happening in the HR field? What are the new courses available? What are the HR analytics available? If you keep posting, you will get into the eyes of the recruiters who will be looking at this content. So they will feel that you are an expert in this field. So obviously they'll start connecting with you, and that network you can capitalize for interacting. So before even networking, start posting a lot of content, start commenting on UAE based company pages, so that you are more and more visible. So the element which we have to understand as a job seeker is, LinkedIn is not a job portal, it is more towards networking and search platform. So we'll have to utilize in that platform. So each platform has its own unique way, unique methodology, or purpose and goal for each platform. So without understanding that, if we start using that platform, it may not work. So it's better to understand the platform on what it demands, and accordingly we have to utilize and capitalize, so that it will help a lot, right? So Facebook comes with a different model, expectation, goal. Instagram comes with a different goal. Now LinkedIn, you'll have to understand, it's a professional platform where your bosses, colleagues, future managers, everybody are there. So we also has to be very, very professional, so that it considers seriously, and will be in the eyes of recruiters. The very unique point about LinkedIn is, you are not only in the eyes of recruiters, you're also from the business head, management directors, chairman, CEO, everybody can look into your profile and then consider for hiring. So that's the reason we have to be more conscious and utilize the platform for posting and commenting, rather than just applying jobs and then leaving it. Okay, so for that purpose, we'll have to utilize LinkedIn in a way to different method of looking at things, and network rather than applying to jobs. Because most of the clients, whomever I'm seeing is, they say, okay, I'm keep on applying to LinkedIn jobs, nobody is responding, all that is what they are saying. But on a serious aspect, we'll have to network with recruiters and start interacting, so that will make more sense rather than applying to jobs. So start your networking rather than applying to jobs. Anybody have any other questions? You can post your questions here. Hi Nihil Bhatta, good to see you here. Very surprising. I hope everything is okay in US. Okay, I'm moving on to the next segment, where how employers are hiring. So employers are hiring for proof rather than potential, because potential is what something you can show after joining only, but proof is something you have to showcase in resume and LinkedIn, wherever there is the possibility. Because hiring managers wants evidence and not effort is something you have put with the previous employer, which is not visible to everybody, correct? So you have done like 10 hours job to complete one automation or something, but for an employer that is immaterial, like have you produced result or not, is what I will try to understand. So the evidence, whatever you have to create, like social proof, have you won awards, have you received any certificate, or are you a community member, or you a thought leader, all that elements you have to showcase on LinkedIn with measurable outcomes. Okay, so second thing is, a lot of people mention the I handle a team with a very mother statement element, like everybody can mention I maintain a team, but that is not sufficient for a hiring manager that you handle a team. It means nothing to them. Rather, you say led a 5-member team that improved retention by 30%. That will get more attention rather than mentioning I handled a team of 5, because everybody can mention that I have handled 10-member team, 15-member team, but with that 15-member team, what you have executed is what you have to show in the resume, and the resume has to speak on the ROI language. What is ROI? Return on investments. So if somebody is hiring, they are paying you and then hiring. So what is the return on investment if I hire you is something which we have to translate in the resume and LinkedIn. Okay, so since this is missing from many of the resumes, every resume becomes the same, because you also come from TCS, I also come from TCS, you also have 5 certificates, I also have 5 certificates. So there is no meaning or differentiation in the entire profiling. So rather, it should speak a lot of numbers and ROI. If you recruit me, what I can contribute, okay, those elements has to be mentioned in the resume, so that it is more meaningful, more triggering to the hiring manager that, okay, I should meet this person because there is something relevant for me to hire for my project. It is very relevant. That element he has to think by reviewing the resume and LinkedIn. If there is no information, and a lot of job seekers mention, okay, I have 10 years experience, I have this certification, that certification, it is very meaningless. So go and look at your resume from a third point of view, and then see that as a different person, and act if you don't know the person, what role you will understand. Then you will get a reality that what they understand is very minimal. 5% only they will understand, because they are not coming from a traditional tech background or other things if you are a techie person. So if you say mention Eclipse and software testing, Selenium, or AI for that matter, they may not even understand what exactly, but explain them what you have produced out of this AI tools, what you have produced out of this software with the numbers. So when we save numbers, it is more towards the time, cost and effort which we have saved. So those numbers has to reflect in the resume and LinkedIn, so that it's very meaningful, and I feel like, okay, this person can save my money, this person can automate things, this person can save my cost. All that has to reflect. So if it is not reflecting, there is a huge gap which we fall into a track of keep on applying and there is no reply. So that's one element you'll have to review during your resume preparation. So instead of taking too much help from ChatGPT and other things, I would say put your hands dirty and then start writing resumes in a very literally with a pen and paper, so that you understand what you carry, and that has to translate it in a meaningful English with ChatGPT. Okay, that should be the flow, rather than asking everything ChatGPT and then writing and then sending, where the process is something which is followed by 1,000 people, whatever you are following. So it is meaningless and it is completely invisible. So if we have to get a hit ratio on the job market, we should take a serious action and uniqueness in the entire process, so that we hit the correct recruiters, correct companies, all that. Otherwise, we will be in a position to compromise on your CTC designation, multiple other things, because there is no differentiation from one candidate to another candidate. That's why we start compromising. Okay, market is not good, there are a lot of tech layoff, let me adjust with this kind of a roles. That's how it is popping up. Okay, now whoever is live, you can post your questions. Maybe I'll try to answer. Mohammed, ISO, Saktivel, Nehil, if you have any questions, you can post here, so that I'll try to give some clarity, answers. It can be anything about interviews, resume, LinkedIn, salary, offer. Okay, so moving on to the topic of job security, because that's one of the major element which is scares a lot of this mid-career and senior level profile. Like, when my job might go is something which they are keep on thinking. So you'll have to understand the fact that companies are cutting jobs but not skills. Okay, they are hiring multi-skilled professionals. Job is there, but they are not cutting jobs, they are cutting on the skill set. Whoever they have not a right skill set, they are cutting the skill set kind of thing. That's the way of understanding. We have to look at this job cut process, rather than blaming the company, blaming the industry, all that. So if somebody is cutting the job, that means we don't have the relevant skill to contribute to that particular company. Okay, so that's the idea. We'll have to keep it and upskill ourselves. And upskilling is something, it's very common for both job seekers and even business owners. Upskilling should be our habit or a new insurance policy every quarter. Okay, anything which is coming as a new element, be it AI, be it an IT tool or anything, we should have a habit of upskilling once in 3 months. Otherwise, we will not be very relevant, and we start telling we don't know this. And the moment we start saying no, don't know this, in next 2 years we will become totally irrelevant. because whatever the other people are talking, we will not even understand what they are speaking. So at least try to understand from a surface level on what exactly on the AI tools or new IT softwares, whatever it is. Hi Pankaj Soni. So if you have any questions, you can post in the comment. Okay, so typically AI tools are replacing tasks only. Okay, not people who know how to use AI. So whoever is using AI, they are getting jobs. That's a relevant element which we are seeing in the market as well. So idea is we should be in the position of upskilling with AI tools. What is relevant to the company, that we have to do it. Look at the designations in Naukri and LinkedIn on what exactly they are looking for. Let's say you lost a job, but they have posted a job which you don't have a skill. But try to see what are all job posting they are doing with what designation, what kind of desired skills. Now that will give you an idea. Like if you understand 10 different job postings in LinkedIn, you will get a commonality on what all you have, what all you don't have. Okay. Now, what all you don't have, that you create a list and start upskilling. That's the only way to get a new job rather than blaming somebody, blaming industry, all that. Welcome, Loki. Yeah. So we are talking about the career related job questions. So if you have any questions, you can post in the comment section. I'll try to answer. So if my audio is still clear, you can post yes in the comment box so that I understand I'm talking to you. Otherwise, I'll be assuming things that I'm speaking to the audience. So you can put a yes in the comment box so that I understand that you're listening to me and the audio and video is clear, all that. Okay. Now I'll move on to the next topic of personal branding is your career insurance. Just like insurance is safety for us. Okay, so what is the safety factor in your career is what you have to contemplate and think, that if tomorrow I'm losing a job, what is my guarantee? Okay, I'll take up this question. Sir, I'm applied same type of skill job in Naukri and LinkedIn, still not getting calls. Okay, so that is the meaning where you're applying with other 300 profiles, because whatever you can see, rest of 300 people, 500 people can apply to the same job, and you're lost in the entire crowd of 300 resumes. So the hit ratio of getting a call from 300 resume is almost nil. So what we have to do is we have to add more and more keywords, more and more active on LinkedIn and network with the recruiter rather than applying to jobs. That's what I've been repeating. So if you see a job on LinkedIn, apply to the job, but still try to connect with the recruiter and speak to him on what exactly he wants, or put a DM like when is the interview, all that you have to start interacting. The problem is we don't interact, we just apply and then forget. Okay, so the possibility of return calls is almost nil. So that's the reason, any which way, even if it is Naukri, even if it is LinkedIn, or even it is WhatsApp group, if you are seeing a job posting, don't apply and wait for things to happen. It will never happen. So whoever has posted a job, start interacting with them. That's the only way whether you get an idea whether they are interviewing people or not. Okay, because in most of the cases, they might collect only resumes and keep it for a future requirement. It may not be a right job opportunity as well, right? So we may not know whether they are hiring, whether they are interviewing people, we may not know, and we are just spraying and praying, and nothing actions will be taken. So if you want actions from the other people, you have to talk either physically or through virtually or even through networking. Only when the talking is happening, the we'll get to know the other areas of action, what is happening, not happening. At least we'll know what is not happening. Then we can put a different effort. If we keep applying and don't even talk, then obviously the same result will it will happen again and again. So from tomorrow onwards, start speaking to the recruiters, whoever has posted the job. At least make an attempt. Reach out to 10 people and then see whether they are replying or not. Because immediately don't say, okay, nobody is replying. You have to put consistent efforts to reach out to those people whoever is desperately hiring, they will definitely respond. Because that is what we have seen in the past. So obviously, start networking rather than applying to jobs. So that's a key element which we have to learn. When we are trying to connect with HR, they are simply ignoring. Yes, obviously, because they are saying 500 profiles in their Outlook, no? So obviously they are reviewing one by one, and it is all depends upon your LinkedIn profile, whether it is strong, whether it is weak. That is based on that they will try to connect or ignore. So build your brand, build your personal brand, where if you feel like I'm expert in that particular subject, start posting content on that particular subject. Otherwise, how do people know that you are an expert? Okay, you might think that, okay, only when they are interviewing, I'll prove my worth, which is completely wrong idea. Prove the worth and then you will get the interview. That's a new scenario, because they are completely busy from 9 to 6, 9 to 7, reviewing the resumes, interviewing, all that. So obviously, they will not respond faster. But the moment you start posting consistently on LinkedIn, build your brand, very, very strong LinkedIn presence, nobody can ignore. Because that's how the visibility factor, expertise factor can be proven. So proven elements should be there on your LinkedIn, where if you are claiming an expertise, what is the proof that you can claim and prove to the organizations is what they'll try to understand. So with that, with the resume, 3-page resume or 2-page of LinkedIn profile, they will not get any idea. So keep on posting something on your subject matter expertise, where they'll get to know about your skill set and have a possibility to call you, interact with you, all that will happen. And whenever you are looking from a recruiter's post or a HR post, start commenting, start interacting, so which will build a relationship with the HR and have a possibility of interaction. So far you have attempted applying posting. Now you start doing networking with the HR by commenting on their posts, commenting on their company pages, trying to DM with the recruiters. So these are all possible. So whatever possibility is there, maybe try and attempt that. And then when we are doing the second Instagram live, then you can share your experience on what happened, what not happened, all that. Exactly what I'm thinking. I will preparing post on LinkedIn. Yes, that's a spirit. So you can just start posting and network with people, or even if you don't know how to post content on LinkedIn, start commenting to other people content. That will create a good visibility in your for your profile, because the moment you post comment on other people LinkedIn, you get a visibility of their entire network. So people have the habit of finding very hard struggle in terms of posting content, but the commenting part is very easy, right? So that you start from the initial things and see what is the difference from your profile views. Today you look at your profile views, and after 7 days, after continuously commenting, look at your profile views, you will definitely see a result. So that means a lot of people have opened your profile, reviewed your profile, all that. So that habit you continue, so that you get more and more connections from the HR people. So you can try and let me know in the next Instagram live, so that we'll try to understand what is the improvement. Okay. So as I said, personal branding is your career insurance, where if they are searching your profile in Google, they will find your name only if you are active on LinkedIn. You can experiment this with your name on Google. Type your name on Google and then see what are all popping up from your names. So that is the element they will check on Google, like how let's say Lokesh is being visible, in what all activities you are doing. All that will be tested by a recruiter, because if there is no relevant content on your subject matter expertise, that's a red flag for a HR professional. So a lot of people spend time on the other platforms like Facebook, Instagram, but going forward, if you're seriously looking for a job, you have to spend a lot of time on LinkedIn, because that's your digital presence, or a PR agency, I would say, which will give you more boost and more credibility when you're looking for a job. So there you have to spend a lot of time beautifying things, or posting a content, or networking. All that has to happen, because that is the only page which ranks higher on the top when somebody is searching on Google. Okay. And the typical psychology is people buy trust first and skills second. So trust factor, if you don't have, then the skills factor will not be considered. Okay, so build a build a credibility or a trust factor, social proof for yourself, so that you have your own branding. Okay. So Loki is saying currently I'm working as a warehouse executive. Okay. So you might be in the chain of supply chain management. Other areas will be your career elevation. So list out top logistics companies in your city and go to their company pages and start commenting, and look for recruiters who are working there and start networking with them. So you have a possibility of speaking to them, and then seeing a possibility of conversing, so that they remember you. They may not have opening right now, but if suddenly opening comes, they'll remember you, because you are always there in the connection. So you're making their job easier by not posting a job and thinking about you and coming back to you. So it's a long game to play, but if you have a serious intention for going for a very bigger MNCs, so obviously you'll have to list out those dream companies and start commenting on their company pages, network with the recruiters. All that has to happen, so that you create your own visibility and credibility for yourself. But your LinkedIn should be very strong with the proof what you have achieved from a warehouse perspective, that you start put in numbers in your about summary, in your banner, in your headline, in your feature section. Those sections should reflect your expertise. Okay, so in your skill set, in your testimonials, so those things has to reflect. So otherwise we just mentioned warehouse when ABC enterprises, nothing will work, because like you, 1,000 people are already there in the same area of domain, whatever you are doing right now. Yeah, insightful. Yeah, thanks. So the more and more question if you ask, then I'll give more and more clarity. Dibaria Chatterjee, welcome Dibaria. So we are talking about the job and career aspects. So if you have any questions, you can post here. I'll try to answer to my best. Okay, now I'll come to the hiring process from a talent acquisition team, or HR team as you call. So hiring is faster, but it will be a pickier, like they'll pick the right people. So recruiters shortlist in less than 48 hours. Okay, so let's say 10 resumes has been kept on their table or online. Within no time they'll shortlist, because they review only 7 to 10 seconds and then pick 3 or 4 best people out of the 10 resumes. So your resume has to talk to them on the value addition you are bringing to the table, bringing to the company, all that. And second point is, if your application doesn't hit at the right time or doesn't match the job language, it's gone. So whatever you are writing and whatever the job description has been written, the foundation remains the same. Both have similar expectation, but you are writing in a different way, they are writing in a different way. So if that is not matching, then obviously the headhunters or recruiters may not understand that it's a relevant profile. Okay. So let's say you have written about yourself as purchase manager, and the guy who's recruiting is searching for procurement manager. Okay, the foundation remains the same, but the wordings which you have not mentioned as procurement, that is a missed opportunity, because the element which you are searching and what you can contribute, both are same, but the problem in articulation or matching the words is not matching at the right level. Okay, that's the biggest gap where we miss out right opportunities. So research about 10 job postings in your area on how a warehouse, from a warehouse manager, what elements they are looking. Is there any AI tools they are looking, or any traveling required, or what are all the industry knowledge required, what certification is required. List it out. Okay, and then rebuild your resume according to that. Then obviously you will get the right opportunity. No point in blaming that I have every skill and they are asking different things. There is no excuses in the entire game. So we need to understand what is the market expectation, and accordingly we'll have to work upon the elements which is required for the company or a business. Otherwise we are not relevant, no? Okay, so that element you can start by whoever is there online. You can just, for your target job, look at 10 designations, 10 job postings on LinkedIn, because LinkedIn comes with more credibility rather than Naukri. So pick up 10 job postings, understand what you have, what is you are missing, then write it. Like, okay, these are all certification I'm missing, these are all experience I'm missing, these are all AI tools I'm missing, software I'm missing, exposure I'm missing. List it out, and then scale up in the next 3 months to 6 months to get a right job. Okay, so your situation has to change based on what you're scaling up, what are actions you are taking. Only that your situation can change, not repeating the same methodology and process. Okay, coming to other areas of the topic, resume alone doesn't sell, but the positioning definitely will sell. So your resume is not your career story. Like, somebody will be keep on telling their first company, second company, third company, every story they'll tell. Okay, but it should not look like that. It should be more like a marketing brochure, business brochure, which we send to the business. Okay, Loki says exactly works are same, but when they are posting jobs and they will mention the job title different. Yes, so in every industry and every domain, the designation are changing. So that's the biggest blind spot which we are carrying, where we keep applying to one particular area, but some other organization will name the designation in a different form where we don't even know. Like, let's say for an example, one very senior person I have handled who has good experience in employee engagement, but the term has been changed as people and culture in the market. So he was not getting any job with that kind of keywords. So when we changed that keyword only, she got right kind of opportunities, and then he got interviews and multiple things. So the naming of the target job and the naming of the potential company's job listing, we'll have to keep reviewing and understand what kind of wordings they are using. Okay, then there is a higher possibility that we get that opportunity rather than going in a very, very narrow path. Okay, so keep posting questions if you have. Newly joined Sivansta, Surya Kumar, if you have any questions about job hunt, career, resume, LinkedIn, you can post here. So I'll try to answer as much as possible. So when you're applying for a job, the goal is not to get shortlisted everywhere. It is to get selected somewhere that values your profile. That should be the goal. Okay, so it is not praying and spraying. Okay, you open Naukri, you open LinkedIn, tuck tuck tuck, you apply to 50 jobs and then pray somebody will call. That's not the way forward. We are in 2025. Come on. So like every system, every process, every industry has changed, evolved. Job hunt is also evolving, and this is no longer you refer somewhere or you help me somewhere to get a job. That's not going to work again in 25 and 26. So try to understand what is the job market demands. Brand yourself on LinkedIn. It's very easy to brand ourselves. So brand yourself, showcase yourself on the LinkedIn profile, not on the Instagram or any other profile. Okay, Surya Kumar, I am PMO. For some reason have not got any call at least for 8+ months. Curious what has changed. Okay, now PMO is a job role where the supply is more, like there are a lot of PMO who is available, but the USP what you can create for the company makes a lot of sense, and the number impact you could have not mentioned. By PMO, it's not a general coordination or anything or stakeholder management or anything. It is more towards which project you have worked, what product you have worked, which kind of clients you have worked, what result you have produced. That element has to be mentioned in the resume and LinkedIn with a proof. So if that is missing, obviously it will be like a very generic statement. Okay, I worked as a PMO in the XYZ company. All that becomes very, very generic statement where the interviewer will not be triggered to call you for a discussion. So the idea of resume is only to trigger for a conversation. No, otherwise what is the point? So give as many as numbers, specific information, so that as an employer I'll feel that okay, this is a profile which is very, very relevant for my project. They are hiring for a project, right? So for that project, are you relevant? Is what as an employer, as a hiring manager, I'll be looking at. So give that relevant information on specific product, project, capacity of the project, how much $1 million project it is, with how many people you have worked, okay, what impact, what results you have produced. All that has to be mentioned with a very, very short snapshot based information so that it triggers for a conversation. So once it triggers and you sit with the interviewer, then you can explain what's the story behind each impact which you have created and all that. But if you don't even tell what impact you have created, what numbers you have worked, what product you have worked, then there is a lack of opportunity, lack of interview calls is bound to happen. Okay, so in 8 months there are a lot of change. Even last 2 months before and now, there is a complete differentiation into the entire hunting process, job process, hiring process, because a lot of people are implementing AI in the entire system where a lot of things getting automated. So those elements we may not know as a job seeker. So we'll have to understand what works better. Okay, so the more and more networking, more and more understanding the job postings will make real sense, and try to meet people in some meetups, regular meetups in your city or in your town, so that you have a physical interaction. Like meetup is one platform where you can meet HR people, startup people, all those people in the weekends. Even Saturday, Sundays, there are a lot of meetups are happening. And LinkedIn events is on online virtual things which is happening. So there also you can participate and understand what is happening. So the more and more interaction can happen, that's how the result can happen. Otherwise, blindly sending to various companies and expecting results is something not worth for your time. Okay, so people who have joined right now, maybe you can post your questions on job hunt or career or resume, LinkedIn. So I'll try to answer. So far we talked about hiring pattern, resume, LinkedIn, the shortlisting process. Now I'll talk about 2026, who it belongs to. 2026 hiring will belong to people who are visible. As simple as that. Even if you are 20 years of experience and if your online presence is weak, especially LinkedIn, you are completely invisible. Okay, because you're using only for applying to jobs and not at all networking. Okay, so understand the fact that LinkedIn is a networking platform and start networking. Okay, even if you are in a very comfortable job, start doing networking with right set of manpower agencies, staffing firms, HR people, because they are the only one who will be giving opportunity, not your Facebook friends, not your Instagram friends. So even if you are at a very risk free zone or a comfortable job, all that, don't stop networking is the key to get more and more opportunities, more and more assignments, even internship opportunities, remote based opportunities. Because the plus point of LinkedIn, it's a global platform. You also get projects from UK, US. Think like a freelancer, think like an entrepreneur on how you can get projects, if especially if you are in IT. Okay, so it's globally possible, but the problem here is we don't network, we use only like a job portal. So that's the reason. So 26 will be belonging to people who are highly visible in the job market or visible market. So the more and more visibility is more and more credibility. So credible people will get opportunities for sure. Okay, so again, it's a skill first hiring which is happening rather than qualification and certification. So it's not who's most qualified anymore, it's about who is most visible, trusted and skill first. Okay, even if you have 25 experience in particular field and solve a problem in 5 hours, and there is a guy who's a fresher with 6 months who can solve a problem in half an hour, I'll be looking at a guy who can solve very immediately, not the experience. Okay, so that much AI and other tools has evolved where automation plays a very significant role. So forget about your qualification, MBA, IIM, IIT, all that you forget, and what skills is being looked for from the company. Look from IIM jobs or LinkedIn, Indeed, and try to understand the job market from a very calm attitude on what exactly they want, what business wants from my profile. Then if it is right, one area like these are the elements I already have, 10 years experience I have this certification, that certification, qualification, right in one side. The other side, write what you don't have. Okay, the AI tool I don't know, this exposure I don't know, this travel element I cannot do that. So all that you write it first. Only then you will know whether you can be potential match or not. Otherwise you never know, like they keep looking for people and you are not even relevant to that particular job opening. So in other 6 months you will be super irrelevant. So you don't even have the skill. In 10 skills they are asking, you don't even have 2 skills. So that much faster the job element will get evolved and will become irrelevant in no time. Okay, so especially when juniors are learning even more faster than us, the opportunity remains very unstable. So it's our time to upskill. Once in 3 months you have to have something to learn. Even if you don't want any certification, at least learn on YouTube, learn on Udemy, Coursera, on multiple minimum investments areas or no investment areas. You try to learn what it is, at least learn what it is. Okay, so there are N10 tools. There are, like yesterday I saw Meta AI is creating new posters, Gemini is creating new posters, Perplexity is creating new posters. So the graphic designer roles is becoming very less. So the opportunity for graphic designer is going to be nil. So in that sense, if you don't know that these are all happenings, you will keep on applying to jobs and you will say market is not working and things like that. But whoever knows creating image generation in AI will get job. Okay, with lot of creativity element, lot of experience in dealing with products, or that they will get a job. But guys who has not implemented AI tools in graphic designing, they will become irrelevant. So they keep on chasing, applying after applying, all that is bound to happen. So this will be true for the other IT and non-IT openings as well, because we are not updating anything or upskilling once in 3 months. So the moment we stop updating or upskilling, the chances of getting irrelevant is more faster. So the key element for conversation today or being live today is create more visibility, create more networking opportunities, upskill. These are the 3 takeaways which I wanted to share. You can follow my LinkedIn page, I'll share in the comment page, and you can subscribe to YouTube channel where we publish a lot of live conversation with the HRs, where a lot of people we are inviting. From next week onwards, every Sunday you will have LinkedIn live where all the HR roundtable will happen, and you will get more connectivity, more networking. So I'll share those information in my Instagram page, and I'll try to post those information on what is the topic and other things. So maybe that will help. So I'll be there till another 4 minutes. If you have any questions, you can post there. Otherwise, we are good. Vishwa, Surya, if you have any questions, you can post. Otherwise, we are good. We'll be stopping in another 2-3 minutes. So if you have any questions, you can post. Otherwise, we will meet next time. Okay, no questions, then fine. So maybe thanks for joining on a Saturday evening, and we'll see you very shortly. I'll try to do as many Instagram live as possible, because I was doing a lot of YouTube and LinkedIn, but this is the first time. Thanks for joining and appreciating the time which we are investing, and hope to see you soon in the next Instagram live. Thank you for joining, and let's call it a day.